Welcome to Canada, a country where our stories are as diverse as our people. Often, these stories are full of optimism, pride, and resilience. We're kind, we take hockey a little too seriously, and we apologize way too much. Despite this, at times all of our stories have challenges, from food insecurity, unemployment to financial strain. But it's how you overcome these challenges that defines our stories. And at Enactus Memorial, our stories of resilience and using sustainable social enterprise to truly change the world.
This year, we tackled an issue that Canadians have faced for generations. You see, there's a part of this country that you don't often hear about. A part that we as Canadians have been conditioned our entire lives to forget. A part that's not accessible by roads, where unemployment reaches as high as 50%. And we're finding fresh food is next to impossible.
Today we have a large number of Canadians who are unacceptably too poor to feed themselves decently.
70% of Inuit in Canada are food insecure. That 70% number for our Inuit is the worst in any developing country in the world. This is terrible.
Either we're going to take this information seriously and make a commitment to do something, or we're going to actually see the situation get worse in this country.
This country can't preach human rights around the world when too many of its own people are going hungry.
Food security is a big issue in our community. I guess it's food insecurity because food is in short supply. It costs a lot. The quality is very poor at times.
During the winter, you don't know with the weather sometimes if the product is going to get in when it's supposed to and how fresh it's going to be once it gets here.
By the time it gets here, it should go in the garbage, but you know, to us, that's fresh.
When you visit these communities, it's easy to forget that you're still in Canada. But yet, this is the reality for thousands of Canadians, where they have to wait weeks for food to get shipped in. And when it does come in, it's a moldy pepper for $9. These stories have been going on for far too long. And with such big challenges happening in our own home, we knew we had to focus in Canada and find a scalable solution.
So how do we do it? How does a team of students find a way to get fresh food to people in one of the world's harshest climates? That's a complicated question, but that doesn't mean that the answer has to be. Our answer is Project Succeed. Here's the idea. Design a product that can grow fresh food anywhere. Then create employment for those who need it by hiring them to build that product. We sell it to schools, the general public, anyone that it can help. And those sales finance our core objective, feeding the North. This year, Project Succeed was our big idea, and we've spent the past 365 days making it happen.
We started by working with expert botanists and engineers to design an innovative system that uses the hydroponic method of growing produce. Our system cultivates plants indoors using a nutrient-rich solution and artificial UV light without the use of soil. The solution is cycled through the system from a body of water to growing pods, where plants are stored. When the solution reaches the pods, it's absorbed by a growth medium that comes in direct contact with the plant roots, giving them the optimal blend of nutrients.
Compared to traditional agriculture, our systems use 90% less water, provide a 75% higher yield, and can grow produce twice as fast. Virtually any fruit or vegetable can be grown, like strawberries, peppers, or even broccoli. But to better go through the growing process, we'll use lettuce as an example. One system can produce 12 heads of lettuce in just 5 weeks. Once the lettuce is ready for harvest, the leaves can be broken off, and then they regenerate, providing 12 new heads of lettuce every 2 weeks. A system can grow up to 1,000 pounds of produce each year. In southern Canada, that's worth about $1,800. In the north, it's worth $4,000. And it's not too difficult to grow this much food. With a system that doesn't require a lot of experience, isn't dictated by climate or limited by soil quality, and costs just 30 cents per day to operate, communities across the north no longer have to go without fresh produce.
With our design tested and finalized, we are ready to begin production. We designed a lean manufacturing process where our systems can be built for just $166. Recognizing that the skills gained from building our systems could be transferred to other careers, we saw an opportunity to create meaningful employment for at-risk youth in our province. Job opportunities for those suffering from illness, addictions, or homelessness are very limited. And we knew Project Succeed could help. So we partnered with Choices for Youth, a not-for-profit organization that provides at-risk and homeless youth with a range of supports. Every day, young people come through the door at Project Succeed with a story a story like this.
When I grew up, I lived in housing, and the years I didn't live in housing, me and my family were bouncing back and forth quite often. I grew up in a lot of barriers that I didn't realize were barriers. Low poverty and addiction problems with me and other members of my family. I used to always get bullied in school, and my dad left when I was 10, and my sister left when I was young too.
Project Succeed is giving young people a new story, a new start, and is already providing 6 vulnerable youth with a really good job. When they come to work at Project Succeed, they get to do so many cool things. They learn the mechanics of hydroponic systems, the science behind them, and gain the skills that they need to get back on their feet. Today, they're equipped with top-of-the-line DeWalt tools, an ergonomic workshop, and have a full-time coordinator. We are providing them with the foundation to start their careers and work through their personal challenges. These young people couldn't find a job because they had no experience, but they couldn't get experience because no one would give them a chance. We don't expect them to build hydroponic systems for the rest of their lives, but this project breaks that cycle.
For the first day of work, I was a little bit anxious because I thought it would be more of a high-tech kind of environment going in, but then when I came in, it was just like really casual and welcoming environment. And I was like, wow, this is big break.
Project Succeed is designed to help those young people address those barriers, accept those barriers, and then work beyond them. And we've built that into how we actually roll out the employment side of this, so that those barriers aren't seen as something that can't be handled, but something that can be overcome.
This is a great opportunity. It's great that we get to kind of give back to the community a bit, and when they've been helping us out for so long, it's pretty awesome. If not for this at the moment, I'd probably still be looking for a job. This really helped me out. I needed a job pretty bad when this came around, so it was pretty good.
It's my job now. It's just like a part of my daily life, and it's that having a reach that's so far and specifically like inspire other people and like make their day more exciting or something. That's so crazy. Definitely makes me proud to know that I'm doing this for other people.
Project Succeed is more than just a job to these young people. It's allowing them to connect with society and see something that they made with their own 2 hands make meaningful difference. With production up and running, we were ready to start tackling the issue of food security across the North.
Northern Canadians need consistent access to fresh and affordable food. The best way to make this happen? Cooperatives. So we began launching them across the North. First, we find members of the community who want to get involved. They purchase the systems and everything needed to grow. Then we help them set it up and get started and provide ongoing support to ensure that they're successful. We offer our systems at a subsidized rate, and to ensure that finances would never be a barrier to getting involved, we worked with Capital One to design a microloan program so members can get started without any financial strain. These cooperatives can be set up in one of 2 ways. In the first option, we help them establish a contract to wholesale their produce to the local store. Since shipping costs are eliminated, the store can then sell back to the community at a significantly reduced price. In the second option, they grow a variety of produce and share it among other cooperative members, ensuring they always have access to fresh produce without a high price tag.
Our first cooperative began in Rigolette, Labrador, working under the first option, wholesaling produce to the local store where it can be sold back to the community at a 57% savings. In Rigolette, we met Ines. For years, she dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur, but lacked the tools and resources to make it happen. To ensure her business would be a success, we worked with her one-on-one and taught her the hydroponic method. We then helped her evaluate market demand to determine what her community needed and when, and helped her assess the most profitable way to operate. Now, Ines and 4 other community members are working in a cooperative and ensuring their community no longer has to go without the fresh food that they need.
In Arvie at Nunavut, we worked with community members to develop a food sharing cooperative. In this community, sharing is an important part of their culture, so they knew this model would be the perfect fit. Meet Keenan. He wanted to bring his community together to start a cooperative and grow fresh produce. So we helped him and 11 others set up hydroponic systems in each of their homes. Under this model, members grow a variety of produce, work together to manage supply and demand, and share amongst themselves. And each member can save up to $345 per month.
Ines and Keenan are now feeding themselves and their communities. And they're not alone. They're just 2 of 63 individuals in 12 cooperatives. In Rigolet, Arviat, Postville, and 9 other locations, we are showing people that they're not limited to the options in front of them. They can make their own options and make real change.
The impact we saw in the North was immediate, and we had to make sure that we could continue to start more cooperatives in more communities for many years to come. So we found a way to sustainably fund this by selling our systems to the general public. Right from the start, we saw incredible media attention and had people from across the country coming to us asking the same thing: where can I get one? We determined a price point that was affordable to the public, still competitive on the market, and gives Project Succeed the funding to continue reaching northern communities. Our price is $350, and with the cost savings that come from growing your own produce, our systems pay for themselves in just 4 months. Now, Project Succeed is helping a wide variety of people in our community.
With just $166 to produce and $184 being reinvested, it's becoming a self-sufficient social enterprise. Our focus is feeding northern communities, but we're also helping other demographics. Our systems are helping soup kitchens decrease costs and providing a sustainable way to feed those in need. We partnered with Correctional Services Canada to create an employment transition program for 6 former inmates and are now developing a program that can operate nationwide. We've even launched our systems in retirement homes, providing horticultural therapy and fresh produce at 5 locations, improving the lives of over 600 seniors. We sell them our systems, give them the help they need, and then use the profit to fund our work across the North.
To educate our country's youth on the importance of agriculture and food security, we launched Project Succeed in 13 classrooms through a 3-month hands-on curriculum. And just 1 short month ago, we received a phone call that changed everything. Realizing the importance of this hands-on learning, Tim Hortons, one of Canada's largest food service operators, approached us to put our systems in every elementary school across Canada. Together, we are already implementing systems in an additional 60 schools, educating over 4,900 of our province's future leaders. And upon success, we're planning to go nationwide. Not only is this an opportunity to improve the education of over 1.6 million Canadian students, but the sales will allow us to fund an additional 2,300 systems across the North. Now, let's hear from the people who make Project Succeed what it is today.
This is like a business opportunity for somebody in like the communities to start growing produce. This is another option that we don't have to depend on outside sources for it.
It's something that I should have taken in school. I would have wished I went to university and learned the skills. But I really like it that you came in and took the time to come in and show us how to grow produce.
It's a wonderful pastime and lots of time on our hands. It's hard to imagine why someone wouldn't find it interesting.
For recess, if you forgot your recess, you could have that and everybody in my class would be snacking on it. And after class, if you did good, the teacher could say, "Good work, guys, have a strawberry."
It's unbelievable what the big difference between a fresh strawberry and the strawberries we get by the time they're up here.
It's that sense of accomplishment too, that, okay, they gave me this to do and I can do it and I can provide for people in my community or for my family.
In just 1 year, Project Succeed has implemented 236 hydroponic systems in 28 communities that will grow over 250,000 pounds of produce each year, created 70 jobs, and generated over $80,000 in revenue.
The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, recognized our impact as he saw how this incredible work has helped Northern Canadians gain cheaper access to healthy and fresh food.
12 months ago, none of this existed. Project Succeed was just an idea. And today, it's a real business. This has been an incredible year, and next year will be even better. We're on track to have 2,000 hydroponic systems in operation. To meet this demand, we'll scale our workshop to employ 20 youth. This will fund 60 more Northern cooperatives, empowering over 300 community members across the North. Project Succeed will generate over $630,000 in revenue and grow up to 2.1 million pounds of produce each year.
Through Project Succeed, we are proving what can happen when a team of students come together to make real change in their own backyard. But our impact goes far beyond just one project. Now, we will quickly highlight 3 others that make us just as proud.
Since 2012, we've continued running Project Bottlepreneur, working with individuals who push carts and collect recyclables to move past dumpster diving, and to instead provide a sustainable door-to-door recycling service to their community. Now, our bottlepreneurs are operating completely independently, collecting over 1.8 million recyclables, generating over $90,000 this year. Project Bottlepreneur is more than just a recycling service. It's an opportunity to empower those once impoverished to become not only entrepreneurs, but environmental leaders.
Since 2013, we've been dedicated to Project Stitch, helping physically disabled Haitians gain sustainable employment by becoming professional sewers and selling their products around the world. Today, it's operating in a state-of-the-art 4,000 square foot facility. This year, the project employed 28 Haitians at 5 times the average daily wage, and now it's operating on its own, for Haitians, by Haitians.
Since creating Prince's Operation Entrepreneur in 2008, every year we continue to teach transitioning Canadian Forces members how to apply the skills they've learned in the military to becoming entrepreneurs. 8 years later, the project has grown exponentially, and this year has been our best to date. With help from our friends on Enactus teams from across Canada, we were able to reach over 500 of our country's heroes this year. And we're even going global, with a version of our program now running in Australia.
This year, we ran 13 projects
that offset over 500 tons of CO2,
changed over 3,000 lives,
started 91 businesses,
created 248 jobs,
and generated over $2.6 million in revenue.
No matter where we are from, we all face challenges, but they don't define us. Enactus inspires all of us to overcome these challenges and write our own stories. This year, our 71 volunteers have dedicated over 17,000 hours to empowering people to write their own stories. And these stories are just getting started. This is Enactus Memorial, where we're tackling global issues and proving that changing a world begins with making real change right here at home.
Hey guys, 2 questions. The first one, the $2.1 million in revenue, how did y'all quantify that? Based on the 2 numbers that y'all gave us and y'all's project revenue, just curious how y'all quantify that total revenue amount. And then also, as y'all's project moves from a classroom project to a real business, how do y'all plan on sustaining those operations to achieve the kind of growth that y'all mentioned in the project?
I'll take the first question and Taylor will take the second one. So in terms of our revenue breakdown, the $2.6 million is 2.1 through the businesses that we've created through Prince's Operation Entrepreneur. $90,000 is from Project Bottlepreneur. $80,000 is Project Succeed. $45,000 is Project Stitch. $43,000 is another project that we run, Launchpad.
And for the second part of your question, sustainability was one of the most important things in all of our minds when we design any project, and certainly when we design Project Succeed. So it's very important to us that we're not just giving people anything, we're teaching them how to do it themselves. And that's why when it gets to a point that we need to step back from Project Succeed to do other things, we can. So we teach them exactly how to grow with their hydroponic systems, we help them set up their businesses, but it's all about empowering them to do it themselves. And that's the same thing across all of our projects.
Can you tell me again how you developed the hydroponic system?
So we worked with a team of botanists and engineers from our actual university. So we worked with the engineering department, the biology department, and we also have a botanical gardens. So once our team identified that a hydroponic system, we wanted a small scale one that could provide food for your family but also be low cost to operate. We work with them. We're majority a team of business students up here, so we of course needed the expertise. And then we went through 33 different prototype designs before we came out with the final project. But it was everything from testing it with food security networks, it was testing it with the individuals to be able to grow it and making sure that it covered all of our bases.
Hi. Are any of the systems built in the north?
So right now, all the systems are built in St. John's, Newfoundland through Project Succeed. So because of logistical reasons, getting things shipped up there is a fortune. And our team being on the ground in St. John's, it logistically made sense for us to start there as well because we're down there 3 times a week helping out with the youth. Long-term plan, once we reach a full point of being sustainability, it is something that we are going to look into.
Just wanted to clarify the question I was asking earlier. So not in regards to the sustainability of the people that you are providing the hydroponic systems to, but for the distribution of the hydroponic systems. I know that all of y'all are full-time students. Do y'all have an operational team in place to achieve that growth?
So right now, all of our systems can be purchased online through our website. So that's our sales point. And then from there, we're working to find a partner that we can hand the actual sales off to. Project Succeed has got legs of its own now, and pretty soon it's going to be a completely separate entity. And once we get to that point, we're really excited that we can hire a full team and they can take those things on for us. But right now, we're putting in a lot of hours to do that, but certainly there is a sustainability model there.
Yeah, a quick question from me. I noticed that you had accessories like nutrients that were accompanying your hydroponic project. How do you obtain those and how do you distribute them to remote areas? And can the crops grow without any supplementary liquid fertilizers?
So we work with a group called Bright Light. So we actually work with them to design the optimal blend of nutrients that would work in our system. So a lot of times when you get nutrients, they're for a specific plant, for a specific system. So we made ours that's universal. So regardless if you're growing lettuce, broccoli, cucumbers, it'll be able to grow it all. Second part of the question.
And in the hydroponic system, the plants do need the nutrients to grow at the rate that we expect them to. And that really has been working quite well in communities that don't have soil or fertilizers or anything else to really sustain the growth of the plant.
I just want to understand, if you walked away today from this project, would it survive? And if the answer is no, what specific timelines are in place to ensure that it's on autopilot? And then there's another question. You mentioned that you are selling to fund certain parts of the operations. How sustainable is that to keep this whole process in momentum?
So in terms of sustainability right now, the cooperatives that we've had 8 months with, they would be at a point right now where we step away that they would continue to run. Right now, we check in with them through Facebook and social media and calling in once a week. But they've gained the skills at this point that they can take control of it themselves.